Hi, this is Tom Blodgett from Jende Industries, and today we're going to shave with our starter straight razor kit, which includes a mini straight razor, about 2 inches, with disposable feather blades. So I'll walk you through how to use it. So when you get it, it's just like a regular straight razor. It's a stainless steel, very light, very simple, with the notch here will actually push the blade forward. You want to pull that one out. You really don't want to use the one that comes with it. You want to insert a feather blade into that. But just to show you the difference in the lengths, here's a normal 5/8, and here is your, so almost 3 inches on the regular straight razor, and two and a half for the starter one. So it's a little easier, a little lighter, and a lot more forgiving to start with. So I'll walk you through how to open it up. So we're going to get a blade out. Do be careful, these are sharps. These aren't the feathers that you see in the double-edged blades, but they're still the same company, feather. So you're going to insert that. There's a little groove there. Insert the spine in all the way. Release the paper, and you're ready to shave. So a couple things before you shave. I'm going to walk you through it in a minute here, but the way you're supposed to hold it is, when it's closed, always be careful, watch your fingers when you're closing it. Close it slowly, make sure it goes straight in. You want to pull it open. You're going to invert it, basically. Let it pass through. Okay, so you want that up in the air. Now there's a couple ways you can hold this. The normal way is 2 fingers, a thumb out in front, and then your 3rd finger in the back. That's way traditional. You could also do a 1 finger, a Mickey Mouse kind of deal. So it's up to you how you do it. However, this is normally for people shaving you. Most of the information out there is for barbers. So if you feel you need a different kind of a hold, sometimes to get a better grip, sometimes a knife grip, where it's just kind of straight and you hold it. Kind of whatever works for you, just be very careful, and most importantly, if you feel like something's going to go wrong, don't do it. Back off, rethink it. You have to be confident that you feel like you know what you're doing here. So, with that said, a couple of things about shaving. You'll want to always move in a direction that's like straight up and down. You do not want to move in a linear direction. This slices. This will shave. Okay, so the minute, and you can do, a kind of curve, but the minute you move on a linear plane, you're going to get cut. So do be careful. Odds are you will get cut sometime, somewhere along the way. It's just inevitable. And then, we're going to walk you through the shave right now. All right, stay tuned. Okay, so we're going to start the shave. First thing I recommend, I've got about 4 days growth here. So you can see what's going on. I'm only going to do 1 pass because if you get past this, then you will know by then if you're ready for a real straight or to not. You'll know very quickly, actually. But give it some time. This is a process. So to start with, you normally take a shower or wash your face with hot water. Since I'm here in front of the camera, I'm going to use a hot towel, and I've already prepared. So I'm just making sure I'm good and moist. And you really want just the hair to be kind of soft. So that's the idea there. Now, in terms of shaving cream and brushes and all that stuff, the video is not really about that. You can use whatever you want. You can use the goop from a can. That's how much I approve of it. Or you will get into soaps and brushes, hopefully. Anyway, so a lot of guys are coming over from double edges, so they're already into this. They sort of end at straights. This is where people usually end up going. But all right. So basically, good and soft. You can use a pre-shave. You can use whatever you want to do. I'm going to use my brush here. The brushes and the soaps are way better than the stuff out of the can. However, if you're just getting started, it's all good. Real dry there. So just lather up as you normally would. Okay. It's all hard to do in the camera here, but so basically you can take your razor, and this applies to all razor straights, flip it over, have it like that. I do the Mickey Mouse grip, the third finger over here. The trick is to stretch your skin. So you got to find out where your sideburn line is going to be. You can mark it off, whatever you want to do. I just got a haircut today, so. Now the trick is, do not turn this too wide. On these kinds of razors, the blades are very thin, so you can get away with a wider angle. You kind of want to go not flat to your face, like this, but you want to give it like, say, 10 to 20 degrees. You don't want to be 45, you certainly don't want to be 90. Very dangerous. So closer in is better. In general, when you transition over to straights, there's a little more thickness to them, and this will help you in the long run about learning. Now the first thing also, when you're just doing this for the first time, I would do this without the blade, actually. Just kind of take that out. And just kind of get used to, finding yourself in the mirror, going through a motion. Now you're going to want to pull the skin in the opposite direction, in general, that you're going to be shaving in. And you're just going to come down. Don't do this. Straight down. So get used to that kind of motion. Okay? Now, when you first do this, you'll just start with your sideburns. Then you'll finish with your double edge or your cartridge razor or whatever else you're using here. And as you get more comfortable with the strokes, you will add more strokes to your face. You will do your chin, your underneath, your lips, everywhere. So the object is to go slow and feel confident. If you're not confident, stop, go back, come back again the next time. The first time I shaved, actually, I learned on one of these exactly. This is my original one. It took me like 45 minutes to an hour, man. I was like shaking the whole time. Just very, very nervous. I didn't cut myself, but it was a slow shave. But that's okay. That's what it starts out as. And then it took 2 to 3 months. Then I finally got into the groove, read up a lot, and had some help from people. And now it's like 5-10 minute shave. It wouldn't take. It's a little bit longer than it would for just a cartridge razor, but definitely more satisfying. So to start off, I start with my right hand here. So I'm going to pull the skin up. Again, feel where it's going to be. Okay, just go straight down. This is very sharp. You don't have to put any pressure on your face. You'll feel it grabbing the hair, and you'll hear it too. Okay, don't dig in the corner, the tip this way. Make sure you're kind of flat here. You're parallel with your face. Okay, easy strokes. You'll feel it cutting. Okay, pull that skin. There'll be a little bit of resistance here. Again, a very light blade, so it's not as hefty as a regular straight, but just be careful. If you're not confident, take little strokes, straight. Okay. Make sure you feel comfortable doing it. Okay. Now this is where I would stop for your first day. Switch over to the other side if you want. But the sideburns and cheeks are actually the easiest because that's just a straight down stroke. Usually not a lot of curvature to anybody's face at that point. So we're going to do here now. I'm going to switch to my left. I don't switch hands. You can or you can't. It's up to you. Some guys do, a lot of guys do, a lot of guys don't either. So I actually come across, so I'm here on my right side. I'm going to my left. I actually just invert. I switch the razor blade here, and I'm just more comfortable with my right hand here. Same thing, put it kind of flush to the face, a little bit off, 15-20 degrees. Now you lose eyesight here. You see my hand is right in front of my face. So you have to have a little bit of trust. So you find a space in the corner, maybe come in. This is why guys switch hands. So start up above, my hand is above here, I can see, and as I come down I just got to trust myself not to move until it comes into sight again right there. Okay, and again as you get through this, again straight down, you go nice, do not press hard. If you're pressing hard you're going to rip your face out. Okay, it's not going to cut you, but it's going to make it raw. So you go straight down here, and then if you feel comfortable, make sure you're pulling in the opposite direction. Pull down, straight. You can do short little strokes like this, or one nice and easy. No pressure, just on the face. You feel it, and these feather blades cut really well with the grain. And again, from this point, after your first time, if you've gone this far and you're feeling good, we'll continue. If not, you go switch out to your cartridge or your double edge or whatever you're using and finish the rest of the shave that way. This is, again, to understand if you are going to like straight razor shaving. And hopefully you will. So, okay, if you're beyond that, now we're going to come to the next stage that I do is under the neck here. Now, most people, you have to look at your hair without the whatever this is, soap on it. There's usually a midline, ironically, right about there, where this hair grows up and the hair on the chin grows downward. You'll see it, and if you just look at the hairs, they grow upwards here, downwards here. So actually what happens is with the grain is actually up on the bottom of the neck, and with the grain is actually down from the chin down. So you'll feel that midpoint as you're doing this. Now, again, look at your face, map it, feel it, you know. So what we're going to do here is we're going to come in, I'm going to go up. Again, not for the faint of heart. Be prepared that you know what you're doing. Practice it dry without the blade first, then insert the blade, okay? Make sure you know what you're doing. Again, pull the skin down. Again, I'm in the camera, so it's a little off. I'm going to go up. Whatever you do, do not slice yourself, okay? If you're afraid, pull back. Okay, I feel it right there. You'll feel tension. Right here is where I feel it like getting very tense, which means the hair is growing the other way there. So I passed that point, that midline. Okay. Same thing on the other side. Pull down. You can hear that screech too. Let me... Right there it started getting loud, right in there. All right, this is the most dangerous part. I'll shut up. Now you notice my hand. The grip I have is more like the knife grip. Okay, this is just, again, me. Whatever works for you, because you have to get your own face. Everybody's face is a little different. You know, how many chins that you might have, how big your cheeks, how high the cheekbones, all kinds of stuff. Some guys have swirls of growth on their face. Everything's just whatever it takes to get it. So, there's no right or wrong here unless you cut yourself, then you're wrong. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is continue down from here. I'm going to come underneath. Now, before I went up, now I'm going to come down because that grain is going with the grain. So, pick some place. Pull this chin down here, pull in the skin. Just matching it over here. Alright, now right under the chin is pretty tough hair in general. This is the coarsest, some of the coarsest. Your upper lip and here are the coarsest areas in my mind. And for me, right here is like the net. I can't get that. It's just like hard. Guys will have places on their face I can't do it. But I'm going to skip the middle right now and come through the other side because it's easier. And I'm stretching that skin and using my chin forward. The idea is to make the skin as tight as possible so the razor just glides right over. You don't want it to be all folded and stuff because then it'll get caught and actually cut you. Even though you're not slicing, it'll get caught and cut. So stretch that down. Trust the blade. It will work, especially if it's new. Okay, so I'm doing that. So now I'm going to come into the middle here. Come down and just go straight down. Okay. So now the next area is here. I'm going to come in and finish my cheek and get the chin. So I'm going to come in this way sideways a little bit. You could continue downwards, but because I'm using one hand, it doesn't really make sense. So I'm going to come actually across the grain this way. You don't want to come straight from here. That's a different cut. The barbers do this. It's hard to do with your right hand. So again, I'm going to stretch by moving my lips. Come in, watch your lip here in the corner. Pull this back and you're kind of jetting your chin forward. Ugh. Alright, now here, I'm sticking my tongue out. Be careful, not too far, not too little. You know, be careful you don't get caught here with that. Again, it's about practice and finding out what it looks like it's going to work. The minute you have time, if you go slow and you're not being a lot of pressure at all, using none, the minute you feel something catching, back off. You might get a little line. That's fine. You just cut the top layer of skin. That's fine. It happens all the time to people. But the trick is to be able to, whoa, don't continue and force it through. Pull back when you feel it, and you'll know. You know, so go very carefully. Again here, across. Now you could come straight down too as well. This is what I do. So a lot of guys will just actually, instead of doing coming across like what I did, they'll come down. Again, watch your lip. It's hard to just catch that sometimes. That's why it's easier to kind of come across. You feel for it, you'll know. There, that's kind of clean. Okay. Then one of the harder parts is the upper lip. Now, going against the grain on the lip is not generally called for. You could come down on this blade, since it's small enough. This is like a 3/8 blade, maybe 4/8. You could get in there and come straight down. Or you can come across. Easier to come straight down. Again, you want to make it taut. Get in there against your nose. Be careful. And kind of turn it back down. When you get in here on your nose, you're at an angle. The angle is already more than we want, but you have to get in there to start. So you're kind of just going to roll it down and then continue straight. Again, feel for it. Watch some other videos that are clearer than this. There. Okay, when you get to that corner, push it out with your lip. Okay, if it feels dangerous, don't do it. Okay, right here. See, I'm here flat against my nose practically. Get in there, turn it down, and then moving forward. And I don't suggest talking while you do it. Make sure your kids are out of the room, the door is locked, and nobody interrupts you when you're doing this area here. So you'll see maybe a little hair or two stray. Get in there later, we'll do that. Here you can come across. Excuse the stuff on my nose. Across here. There. So if you've gotten to this point, and this is going to be equivalent at best to a Gillette cartridge. This is nothing. Actually, it's going to be a little bit better, but you're still going to have some, like I have some coarse spots right here because I didn't come against the grain right. But my cheeks are pretty decent. It's not as good as a cartridge, but if you're getting something that's close to replicating it, then you know you're on your way. The second step is from here, you would lather up again and you can go against the grain. However, for these razors, these are very, very thin. Once you start going against that grain, you feel it, and it's a lot different than it would be on a regular straight. So I'm not going to do it here, because at that point, if you're good and you're doing a whole face shave like this with the grain, and you're doing this for several weeks or a month, then you're ready to make that transition to a straight razor. And then you can check out how to do against the grain and everything. Because you have a small learning curve once again to get the larger blade and everything, and the stropping. But these you don't strop. So maintenance is on these, rinse it off, dry it with a tissue. You can take the blade out separately, just pull it out and have that rest separately if you wanted to. Or just leave it in. They're stainless, they're throwaway. With the grains, you get about 4 or 5, maybe 6 on if you're very picky. With and against the grain, you'll get 2 or 3, and then you'll need to change your blade. So once it starts feeling like it's pulling or it's hurting and you're not doing anything wrong, then, oh look, I cut myself. Yeah. So, but nothing. Yeah. Once you feel like it's pulling again and then it's not working, change the blade. Start over. Okay. Hope this helped. I'm going to go to the hospital now. Hope this helped. Bye-bye.